Hi there, my name's Mrs. Durston and I'm the MYP coordinator at NLCS Dubai. I wanted to take this opportunity to give you a brief introduction to the MYP programme and go through each of the aspects of the curriculum. So first of all, I think it's important to look at the IB learner profile. These are a set of attributes that we as teachers are working towards. So that is creating principled, caring, thinkers, inquirers, students that are open-minded, knowledgeable, risk-takers, reflective, good communicators, and overall are balanced individuals. So each and every lesson in an MYP curriculum is working towards these attributes. Now, the subjects that students take in the MYP are as follows. There's language and literature, language acquisition, individuals and societies, which is history and geography, the sciences, which in grades 6, 7 and 8, students get to do all three of the sciences. And then at the end of grade 8, they can decide if they would like to continue with all three sciences or if they would like to drop one and just remain with 2. We then have mathematics, which towards the end of grade 10, we will decide whether or not they will be put in for standard level or for the extended mathematics. We then have the arts, which is visual art, drama and music. We have physical education and finally design. Now, if students are wanting to take the bilingual route, they can be entered for English language and literature, and they can also be entered for another language for language and literature. So that might be Arabic, French or German. Each subject at MYP is scored out of 7, but it's worthwhile noticing that it's criterion-based learning. So that means that every subject has criteria A, B, C and D. Students gain a mark from 0 to 8 for each of these criterion, which is then added together, which then equates to a mark out of 7. Each subject has internal assessments throughout the course, and this is an opportunity for teachers to assess where students are with each of these criteria. However, not every criteria is covered in every unit of work. So here's an example from chemistry. In chemistry in grade 6, in this particular unit of inquiry, students will be working towards criteria B, C and D. So you'll note there that they're not actually looking at criteria A in this actual piece of work. And here we go, this is an example of what they'll be doing in lessons. So the statement of inquiry that they're working towards is, change leads to the interaction resulting in both desirable and non-desirable consequences, allowing humans to find appropriate solutions. The task that students will be undertaking is, you work for the Quality Assurance Department of the Dubai Health Authority. You want to evaluate the different antacid products available in Dubai over the counter to see which one is most effective. You will write a laboratory report and make a brochure advising the public about your findings. So straight away you can see that the students are learning chemistry, they're learning science, but we are given it a real world context. And this is to grasp students and to make them aware of the reason why they are learning what they are learning. On completion of units of work, students will work towards criteria and the teachers will share rubrics so that they can clearly see what they're getting marked against. So for that example for chemistry, here's the rubric for criterion B, C and D, and students will have a clear outline of what it is that they have to do to enable them to get to the next level. What sets the MYP aside from other curriculums though, is the fact that they teach through the lens of a global context. And here we have some of them. We have identities and relationships, personal and cultural identity, orientations in space and time, scientific and technical innovation, fairness and development, and globalization and sustainability. Now, what happens is the teacher will select a lens in which to teach the content through. So for example, if we were doing a piece of work looking at orientations in space and time in literature, we might look at how a piece of text has developed through different times. So for example, we might look at how Shakespeare is being performed today as opposed to its original context. As well as global context, we also look at different concepts. And this again is to help shape the discussion. This really helps students to develop thinking skills as it allows them to look at topics from a different perspective. So for example, they might look at a topic but look at it through the perspective of relationships or culture or logic. And this frames their thinking so that when they go into different subjects, they can take the knowledge that they've gained from other subjects and put it into the context of the subject that they are currently studying. Approaches to learning are vital in allowing students to gain the skills that they will need in order to be able to go out to the big wide world. So approaches to learning include thinking skills, self-management, research skills, social and communication skills. Again, all lessons are framed to try and develop these skills explicitly. This is fantastic for those students that want to go on to university. Having the ability to plan their time effectively and to research in an ethical way and communicate respectfully to other people are vital skills required both at university and in the workplace. All students at MYP are expected to take part in Services Action, or SA for short. This is a bit like community service. It's giving back to the community, and it's in a bid to try and develop kind and caring individuals. So this might be in a local context, so that might be in the school. They might be helping younger students. For example, they might be doing some reading with younger students who are struggling. Or it might be in the local community. They might develop some charity work, or they might do beach cleanups, or they might go slightly further afield and go on expeditions to Africa. Please be noted though, if your son or daughter comes home and says that they need to go on a very expensive holiday somewhere to do Services Action, that is not the case. However, if they are doing charity work as a family, then of course this can go towards their Services Action. Now what it consists of is completing a task over an extended period of time. So we recommend between 4 and 6 weeks. And then they have to upload some evidence of them doing this. This could be in the form of diary entries or photographs. On top of that, they have a supervisor report. So somebody who has witnessed them doing this Services Action would write a little note to explain that they had taken part and the attitudes that they displayed. Now students do this in grades 6, 7, 9 and 10. In grade 8, it's slightly different. We do what is called the community project. So the community project is Services Action, but it's on a slightly bigger scale. So students can either work individually or they can work in small groups of up to 3, and they work on a project over a prolonged period of time. On top of this, they're expected to write a report, which they can either write in written form or they can present verbally in a presentation. Now, the community project has been put into the MYP curriculum almost as a stepping stone for the personal project, which they will be conducting in grade 10. And then again, the personal project has been put into the MYP curriculum in order to give students the skills they will require for if they go on to the diploma, where they will be expected to do an extended essay. So you can see that the curriculum has been structured to allow students to develop the skills to be able to complete tasks later on in the curriculum. In grade 10, students complete a personal project. This is where they come up with a product based on a personal interest. They decide a learning goal. What is it that they want to learn? And then they create a product. So for example, if they enjoy cooking, they might decide that they want to learn about a different culture's cuisine. So in this incident, let's think that possibly they want to learn about Emirati culture and cuisine. They would then create a product. That might be in the form of a cookbook, a website, a podcast, a YouTube channel, is entirely up to them. Having done this, the students then put together a 15-page report where they outline the whole process from start to finish of how they created this product. This is an excellent opportunity to develop academic writing skills, and again prepares them significantly for when they go on to the diploma. So an exciting part of the MYP curriculum is interdisciplinary learning. Now, students between grade 6 and 9 every year will take part in an interdisciplinary unit. This is where they will learn a topic through the lens of 2 subjects. So they may look at something in English and then also look at it in geography, for example. This allows them to develop thinking skills where they can look at subjects from completely different perspectives. When they get to grade 10, they will then complete an IDU examination. This consists of the IB releasing 2 subject groups and a variety of stimulus. Students then study the stimulus from the perspective of the 2 subject groups and then will answer some essay-style questions in an examination. So as you can see, the MYP curriculum is incredibly detailed, but fundamentally at its core, it is all about developing students who are prepared for the big wide world. They're trying to give them the academic know-how to be able to be accomplished in subjects, but also the skill set to be open-minded, knowledgeable and thinkers, which will allow them significantly in their further studies. Thank you very much.